So this process of transformation from the physical form to a non-material form, that'll take some time. So that's not necessarily our direct focus, right? So our focus is to evolve as human beings while we're still in the human form. But we're not focusing our attention on like, okay, that's where we're going, but really on the journey we're on in this moment and being able to bring everything that is of support to become more and more empowered in our being and to walk this life in assistance of the collective and those around us. Fair to say? Yes. Our imagination is limited, and these concepts of multidimensional existence are very complex. The mind cannot fully comprehend a different existence than the human experience we're having. I mean, even the human experience is difficult to comprehend in itself, right? So some things we just like don't understand how this is working. So, but in moments of true presence, there is a greater state of being than just mental comprehension or imagination. There is a state of knowing. And we entering these states of knowing of something that feels like unification, that feels like a higher frequency of presence. We enter these states of knowing, but that is not a function of the mind. It is not a function of imagination. It is a function of consciousness. Slightly different. And so some people will say, well, if you can imagine it, if you can envision it, if you can see it, then you can believe it and then it'll become. It's not necessarily untrue. Some people walk that path specifically like that. And that is also an acceptable and powerful path to choose. In our work, we don't focus our attention too much in how we're going to get our mind straightened out and focused and sharpened to do certain things so that we reach that place, even though there are acceptable methods and pathways to do that. And some people will do the more heart based journey, some people will do the more physical based journey. Right? There's different journeys into this evolutionary process. We are getting into states where literally the mind enters a state of complete silence. Have you been there? I hope, yes. Where the mind literally dissolves. And every time you're trying to formulate a thought, it's just like starting to come through and then like dissipating again. Right? The field is so strong that expands our mental construct into a homeostasis, almost a spiritual anesthesia. But we're still aware somehow. So, what's the part that's aware if it's not the mind? It's your consciousness. And in that space of consciousness, being aware of the moment of its existence, that's where the magic is. There is a greater sense of knowing in that state than any element of mental comprehension we can have. But let me tell you that mental comprehension and mental constructs will be reconstructed as a result of being in these states more often. So your mental patterns, beliefs you have, or beliefs you've held, perspectives you've held, a perception you've had will shift over time as well. And that is where the power is beyond the mind.